Happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome back to another Q&A office hour and strategy call. I am going to just check our tech as we normally do at the beginning of each session, just to make sure we're streaming live. There we are, and we're good. We're good. All right, welcome back, everyone. Oh, Tanika, hopping on nice and early. Nice to see you here. So today, I actually, in the announcement, I apologize, I forgot to talk about what this strategy session part of today was going to focus on. Today, we're going to start with having a conversation about making the most of downtime in your practice, which for most of us is actually this time of year. So really timely that you're joining me today, because we're going to be talking about 5 strategies that you can take action on to make the most of kind of the quiet time. When I was in private practice, this typically was a quieter time for us, and I think that's very common. Oh, hey, Tanika, Sandy, Marissa, thank you for joining me. So the question is, like, how do you make the most of the time when you're slower to amplify your success and kind of the revenue generation when it's busier? And there's plenty you can do, and we're going to be talking about that today. So thank you for joining me. As always, you can feel free to make comments. I can see your comments. I can't always see who's commenting, but I will be able to answer your questions as we go along. So as we do every week, we're going to start with a little bit of strategy, usually related to private practice nutrition professionals, but also applies to healthcare professionals as well. And then we'll move on to some frequently asked questions. We're going to be talking about our special event coming up next week. So get your calendars out, because Monday and Tuesday, we're going to blow your mind with this event. So I'll talk about that, and then again, answer some questions, do some screen shares about new functionalities, just a lot going on, and it's only been a week since I've seen you last. So, okay, so welcome to our office hour and strategy call, where today we are going to kick it off by talking about making the most of downtime. For those of you who have been in the Living Plate membership for a while, you know I'm a pretty high energy person. I don't sit still. Like, I was the kid who was always moving. Like, I was constantly being told, like, stop moving at the table, stop getting up and down. And I just, I like being active, and I like being productive. So some of my activities aren't so productive, like, moving around a lot, but really when it relates to business, I'm kind of addicted to productivity. Like, I need to see progress kind of in my life and in my actions. And, being idle, I need to practice that more, because it's definitely important, but it doesn't come naturally to me. So if you're one of those people, just raise your hand in comments if you're one of those people who's just always got to be productive, right? Always making progress. I'd like, before we talk about the 5 strategies for making the most out of this downtime in our practices, I want to reframe productivity. So typically, productivity is associated with, like, busyness, right? And sometimes we're, like, really busy and we don't feel like we're being productive, which is super frustrating, but having a plan helps there. But when it's quiet, you can sometimes feel like you're not being productive, right? Because you don't have that busyness. You don't have, people emailing you or DMing you, or if you have a bricks and mortar private practice, like walking in the door and calling you. What I encourage you to do is engage in activities, these strategies we're going to talk about today, so that you can make this time productive, and know that that time that you are taking to employ these strategies is an investment in your future self and in your future growth. I promise you they work. And so just taking, and you don't have to act on all of these strategies, but even at the end of today, if you just take one of these strategies and put a plan of action into place, I'm going to give you some content to do that. When the busier times hit, you'll be like, oh, thank goodness I did that. Thank goodness I created that collection of content. Or thank goodness I did, analyze my KPIs or did a SWOT analysis for my business. Like, all of these things are important that you can do, again, during a quieter time. Because when you're busy and then you have to fit in certain things, you just get overwhelmed. So this can also help, amplify your growth, but also reduce the overwhelm, during the year. So listen, somebody's saying not only productivity, but also seeing results. Yes. So you want to make sure that the actions that you take will either yield results immediately or, promise results down the road. And that's really what we're going to be talking about today. All right. So the first strategy, let's just kick this off. The first strategy for making the most of downtime is business analysis and reflection. This is like the least sexiest of all the strategies I'm going to be talking about, because it's like, it's like business analysis. Like you have to do it if you're running a practice or a virtual practice and you're running a business, right? If your objective is to attract, serve, and retain clients, you're in business, right? And you need to treat it as such. So taking time, it doesn't have to be a lot of time. I'm going to show you some tools today that will be really, really helpful to you. But just like simple things, if you haven't written a business plan yet, you can even start with these a few things that we're going to talk about today. So for example, key performance indicators. Do you have them in your business? Like you can't grow with intention if you don't know where you're going, right? So key performance indicators can help you kind of map that out. So that's one of the things that you can do during a quieter time. You can also do a SWOT analysis. If you've never done a SWOT analysis of your business, it's actually a really great activity to do, and you should do it frequently, maybe 4 times a year. Maybe that's excessive, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, or any time that you have a change in your business. And a SWOT analysis is analyzing the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to your business. The first 2 are internal, like internal strengths and weaknesses. And then the second 2, opportunities and threats, are external, like things that happen outside of your business but impact your business. So I'm going to show you right now, I'm not going to cover all of the different ways that you can analyze and reflect on your business today. We're going to just talk about 2. If you want to take a deeper dive into strategy number 1, you can listen to the podcast that just went up today. You can go to livingfitrx.com and go to our podcast tab and listen to the nutrition content creator podcast, and I take a deeper dive. So what I'm going to do now is present my screen. Okay, let's start with the KPI worksheets. Perfect. And I'm actually going to take you into my Canva account where it was created, and we'll just scroll there. Great. So let me make sure you can see that. Perfect. I'm going to actually hide myself so that it becomes a bit bigger, and then you can see this. Now, I am going to be providing this to you once this broadcast is over. Inside of our Facebook group, I will drop the link to the fillable guide. So you're going to get this guide as a fillable document. So you can actually open it up today. This is something, honestly, you could do in the next 2 days. Before Friday, you could set a goal to identify the key performance indicators in your practice. You can do that really simply. I was first introduced to key performance indicators by my first business coach, Rebecca Bitzer, and her group. She's like, you can't understand where you're going until you map these out for your practice. So let's talk about what these are going to be. So this is a guide. I used my experience as in growing a private practice, and then also my experience with Rebecca in kind of putting this together. So let me just scroll down here so that you can see. So this guide has information about KPIs and SWOT analysis. But then if you scroll all the way down here, it has your key performance indicator, the name of it, what the current value is, what the target value is, and then what the strategies to achieve that are going to be. So what is your KPI? Where are you at? So let's pick one. We come up here, just expand my screen a little bit so that you can see this. Oh, it's making it smaller. Okay. All right, that didn't work. But you're going to get access to this guide, so you'll be able to see it clearer. So for example, new patient inquiries is an excellent KPI for private practice nutrition professionals. So the number KPI would be the number of new patient clients reaching out monthly. So it has to be very well defined. So pick a month, identify how many new patient inquiries you have, and one of the best resources for this is your EHR or your appointment scheduling software. They can tell you if somebody is a returning client or if they are a new client. And those are actually both KPIs. You can have your returning client percentage and your new client. So you can pick that KPI and identify that number. So how many new clients did I get last month? Okay, I got 5 last month. Okay, how do we want to improve that? Or I got 5 new clients. Maybe I want to improve that to 10. That would be doubling your business, right? And that's not daunting. Like going from 5 clients to 10 new clients in a month, it shouldn't be that difficult to do if you employ the right strategies, right? So identify your KPI, plug in your current value, plug in where you think you want to be, and you're just going to start experimenting with these now. And then what are the strategies you are going to do to realize that increase for your business, right? So how am I going to get new clients? Maybe it is doing more frequent Facebook posts. If you know, for me in private practice, I knew that my potential clients locally were on Facebook. And I knew that they were in certain Facebook groups, right? Like each town has their own Facebook group. So I had permission to post in these different Facebook groups. And that would be a perfect example of how I can support getting more people into my practice. So post on Facebook groups and then perhaps boosting those if I'm holding a special event. Special event could be the second strategy. I'm going to offer an open house. Marissa's saying, thank you for offering this, so valuable. Good. Yeah, it's kind of like Business 101. It's pretty basic, but I'm super happy to share all of this with you. So you'll see the worksheet below, and then kind of a definition, some examples, and you can just use these examples. You don't have to recreate the wheel. These examples that I provide to you are pretty typical for nutrition professionals. So average revenue per consultation, right? You need to know when you have a client walk in through your door, what is that client worth to your business, right? And again, very easy to figure out. If you we took insurance, so our services were reimbursable by insurance. So we knew for every Blue Cross Blue Shield client that walked in the door, what our annual, we talked about it in terms of annual revenue, what that client was worth to the business. If they were an Aetna patient, it was a different number. So if you take insurance, it can be a bit of a moving target, but you can get an average per client. So let's say, I think it was at the time about $900, but that was only if, for Aetna patients, if we got them to return, because we got paid they had 28 visits per year, which is a lot. And we only got paid when they showed up and when we counseled them. So another part of that strategy was, how can we get them to come back, right? An easy answer is have them book their next appointment before they leave your facility, right? Or even if it's virtual, have them book their next appointment before you say goodbye, before you sign off, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do in here. So take your time. I think probably would take you 1 or 2 days with a couple of hours on each day to just dig out the data that is, that will inform your selection of your KPIs, and then just think about goals. Make them really easy and achievable at first, and then if you achieve it, great. Then go back and revisit this chart for the next month. So you can do it by month. That's how I would do it initially if you've never done it before. Just do it by month. Like, what are my KPIs this month? I want better client retention. I want rebookings. I want more clients. Okay, so those are and these are hard numbers. This is, not, I want more followers on Instagram. Unless you're drawing a direct line from your number of followers to your business, which is not likely, that's going to be tough. But maybe you want to increase conversations in DMs on social media. So that's actually a really good metric to pay attention to, because if you're having conversations with actual people and some of them convert, that would be great. So maybe you're looking to increase your conversion of DMs to clients inside of social media. So, but it still has to be a hard number. So hard number or a percentage. Website traffic is another indicator of a healthy business. Not hard to figure out how many people are visiting your website each month. So you go to your Google business page. If hopefully you have that set up for some type of analytics, or whoever maintains your website, you can figure out how many people are visiting your website. And if you want to see an increase in that, why don't you tell me here? Because we got quite a few people joining us right now. What could be one thing that you do that would drive traffic to your website? Something simple. Type it into comments for me now. I want you guys to brainstorm a little bit here. It's like a workshop. Tell me, what is one thing that you could do today or tomorrow that would increase traffic to your website? I have a couple of ideas that I'll share with you, but I want to see what you guys come up with first. Okay, so this KPI worksheet is going to be offered to you as a fillable document. So you can just literally type it in. You can print out this last page and just use it every month. Marissa is saying lead magnet. Yes. So a lead magnet encourages people to go to your website to download it, which is perfect. You could also, inside of your social media, add a link. So now in Instagram, you don't have to have a links page. I think you can have up to 3 links in your bio. You can put your website link in your bio. If you have not done that yet, you do that at 2:30 today when we get off this call. Either the link to your website in your bio, and it's really easy, just go to profile settings, add the link to your website, add the link to a special event. You just have a link there that drives people to your website. Jenny is saying created an in-person open house. Jenny, I love in-person open houses and I love virtual open houses too. I love that. A call to action with a lead magnet, offer an incentive, free value and simple resources. Raksha is saying yes. So these are all good known strategies to get people to visit your website. Okay, so you guys are on a roll already. You know what you're doing. All right, I'm going to share another screen. Let's see if I can just flip that here. So that's the first thing that you would do. Next, you want to conduct a SWOT analysis. This is all still part of strategy number 1. If you listen to the podcast, this is where I actually spend the most time because I think it's really important and it's foundational to amplifying your growth during busier times. Like really set this foundation in place. Now you're looking at your ultimate guide to conducting a SWOT analysis. So a SWOT analysis, for those of you who are just joining us, stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to your business. Every business should conduct one, but this is specific to health and wellness professionals who have private practice, either in person or virtually. So your strengths and your weaknesses are going to be internal, like your internal strengths, like I am a nutrition expert. I'm speaking hypothetically here, but let's say you're an expert in prediabetes. I am a nutrition expert who specializes in prediabetes and preventing progression to diabetes. Awesome. You are an expert. That is a strength. What is your weakness? Right? Your weakness might be related to that. Well, my weakness might be if I focus on just that, weaknesses don't necessarily need to predict, but they just kind of they help you be aware of what a potential weakness might be, right? If I'm only serving people with pre-diabetes and trying to prevent the onset of type 2 diabetes, maybe I can't serve people who already have type 2 diabetes and are looking to reverse it, right? So like the strengths and the weaknesses are inversely related almost always. So get your strengths on paper first, and then it's really easy to move on to weaknesses. Opportunities and threats are kind of outside of your practice, right? So are there opportunities for collaboration, for example? That would be a really good example. Threats, competitors, that's number 1. If you haven't done a competitive analysis, this is a good time to do one, right? When you're not so busy. Jenny is saying, in my computer, there's a visual, it's fuzzy. Oh, I'm sorry, Jenny. Is anybody else having a hard time seeing it? Maybe, Jenny, expand your view in Chrome. I'm not sure. Carmen is saying it's pretty clear. All right, so I'm going to scroll down now. So you want to do the KPIs first, right? We're still on strategy number 1, which is kind of business reflection. I give you a lot of details here about what is the purpose of a SWOT analysis, for annual planning. This is like when you would do one, right? When you first start a business, for sure. I will tell you that I redid my business plan for my private practice 3 times in year 1 because, you start in one place and then, it kind of moves. And so anytime there is a change in your practice or in your environment, you're going to need to do it again. Some like post-crisis or an unexpected event, so like an economic downturn or a pandemic is a perfect example. You might want to do a SWOT analysis when you're rebranding. So if some of you are starting to work with string marketing and doing new websites and branding, that is a really good time to do a SWOT analysis. And before strategic partnerships. So if you're entering in a strategic partnership, you're going to want to do the strengths, the SWOT analysis of your business, but then also considering the partnership. Okay, so here are the worksheets. Again, these are going to be fillable for you in the link that I'm going to provide. It takes you through the strengths, and I provide you with some examples of strengths for private practice, health, and wellness professionals. So what unique services or products do you offer? What credentials, expertise, or experience do you bring? So it can be about you, but it could also be other strengths. Like one of the strengths of my private practice, I'm truly looking out the front window right now, is that I am in a high visibility location. My husband's in real estate, so it's location, 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 right? So my private practice is in an amazing location, and it was really great to recruit people. People see my sign, my phone number, my website right on the corner of Main Street in my town. So it doesn't always have to be, a personal strength. It could be kind of the strength of your business. Brand recognition. Do you have brand recognition or don't you? Now, if you don't have brand recognition, that's going to be a weakness. So I'd love to hear from you guys right now. Type in, what do you think one of your strengths is? Either of yourself or your business or your brand. Pick a strength and just type it in, because that's kind of a feel-good thing to do. The strengths is really nice to do, and it helps you feel, empowered because you're recognizing, part of the foundation of your business, which of course is your strengths. So type in what your strengths are, please. And don't be afraid to brag. Type in one strength of your business or of your practice or of yourself. Please do that now, and then we can all recognize each other. What are your weaknesses? Again, they might be inversely related to your strengths. So if you're, let's just see here, it's kind of small print here. Here's an example. Are there areas where you and your team lack expertise? So one of your strengths is that you have expertise in prediabetes and diabetes. Maybe one of your weaknesses is that you are not well versed on Ozempic. That is a perfect example of a change in an environment that you need to recognize in your SWOT analysis, and that will inform an action that you take. So if I am not well trained on clients who are coming to me who are using Ozempic, I need to get training, and that's actually going to refer to one of our other strategies, which is professional development. So this SWOT analysis is going to inform a lot of things. So time well spent. Raksha is saying, let's just come here to hello. I want to acknowledge some of the comments here. So we have somebody saying diverse network to build my brand. That's a strength. That's excellent. Nicole is saying her business mindset, big picture, is one of her strengths. We have brand visibility, ranked #1 on Google and Yelp for my area code. Sandy, that's awesome. That's amazing. That is a terrific goal. One of the strengths of one of my weaknesses initially was that I was new, but then it turned into one of the strengths also because we ranked #1 in the area for nutrition professionals in our zip code. So I know how that feels. That's really, really exciting. Let's see, we have weakness is overwhelm. So somebody's saying one of their weaknesses is overwhelm, right? So Sandy actually was saying her strength is brand visibility and her weakness is overwhelm. So Sandy, the question is, what kinds of actions can you take to reduce your overwhelm? Hopefully becoming part of the Living Plate RX community supported you in reducing kind of the daunting task of creating content all the time. But we're here to help support you with reducing the other overwhelm as well. Jenny is saying her weakness is spending too much time preparing to prepare to launch. You know what, Jenny? I hear you. A lot of people are in the same boat and it's the perfectionist in you, Jenny, I promise. You want to launch a program or a digital course or an offering and you just want it perfect. I encourage you to consider launching it a little bit imperfectly at first, making sure that everything is in place, but getting the support you need to and the confidence you need to launch it imperfectly, because I'm sure you're doing a really, really great job. So let's see, strength. Jenny is saying passion and empathy for helping people. That's a strength. Perhaps the inverse, like the weakness might be, it can lead to burnout, right? If you're an empath and you just give and give and give, and you really just want to help as many people as you can, sometimes that can lead to a weakness. So sometimes your strengths can inform what might happen in the future a little bit too. So keep that in mind. Somebody else is saying insurance and payment weakness. Yeah, well, let me know how we can help you with that, because we have the most amazing credential company and a reimbursement company in town. So, okay. Oh my gosh, yes, we have another one here. Planning and preparing, but not doing the launch. Yes. So sometimes you just got to launch and it has to be imperfect. All right, we're going to do one more strength here. High energy and very productive. This is coming from Marissa. Her weakness might be focusing on things I like to do versus need to do. That's me. I spend way too much time in Canva because I love it. I'm a creative person when I should be doing other things. So I love that. Again, recognizing your weakness. This practice that we are going through together right now is brilliant because when you identify your strengths, you want to amplify those in different ways. And then when you identify your weaknesses, you need to address them. You need to reduce the risk or the impact those weaknesses might have on your business. So what are the actions you're going to take to do that? Marissa's saying, me too. Love that. Love Canva too. Strength is my heart for people. Very common in our profession. Weakness is sometimes navigating the unknown, especially tech. Yeah, so here, if tech is your weakness, get support in that area. Whatever the tech is, get support, take a course. Hopefully you can take a course that fulfills, I think it's strategy number 4 today, which is professional development, right? To seek out opportunities to get more comfortable with tech. This is a perfect time to learn new technology or make decisions about, do I need an EHR? Do I need to switch my EHR? Do I need to get more familiar with Living Plate RX technology and the meal planner, right? So this is all good. You guys are doing great. So great. It's all good stuff. All right, let me share my screen again. Okay, so you have your SWOT analysis worksheet. I provided you with a really nice big space for all of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and then also kind of what next steps are. So I want you, by the end of this week, to take some action on your SWOT analysis. Maybe 3, one bigger action and maybe 2 smaller ones. I want you to put that here, okay? Was this helpful? Type helpful if this was helpful. It seems like it was, so I'm super excited that we went through the SWOT analysis and the KPIs with you. Again, there are more resources for you inside of the podcast, so you can head over there and listen to that. All right, let me hide this, and we're going to come back to our banners. All right, so we're going to wrap up strategy number 1, which is business analysis and reflection, KPIs and SWOT analysis, and then you can move on. All right, number 2, professional development was number 2. Okay, so you can take this time, which this is downtime, right? So you can take this time to, if you're a registered dietitian, visit your learning plan, please, because the CDR has changed things a little bit in the past year. So make sure, just do the assessment first. For registered dietitians and other healthcare professionals, it is mandated that we engage in professional development opportunities, learning opportunities, and accrue continuing education units. So first, do an analysis of where you are, map out where you need to be, right? So how close are you to those 75 credits that you need within 5 years? Or again, whatever your profession is, your governing body will tell you how many continuing education units you are going to need, and then map it out. Then you can decide based on your SWOT analysis maybe, or maybe on your KPIs, are there things that I need to improve? Weaknesses and threats are kind of really good opportunities. They present really good opportunities for learning. So if one of your weaknesses is technology, maybe it's, you're not so comfortable producing reels, but that will help drive traffic to your Instagram page, then take a reels course, invest in a reels course. Now, not all courses that you take to maintain your RD credential have to be pre-approved. You can use, as long as they fit into your learning plan, you can use other learning opportunities to fulfill that. So don't be afraid to kind of ask that question. You can do it right on the CDR website. If you're not a registered dietitian and you're another healthcare professional or a nutrition professional, then you are free to explore, whatever learning opportunities you want. So we do provide Living Plate RX members with about 12 to 13 CEUs per year, which almost fulfills your requirement, for that 5-year span. So look inside of your Living Plate RX membership. If you haven't taken Nutrition Content Creation Academy, there's some free CEUs there. We cover technology. We cover a lot of things there, content creation. We also offer CEUs for the chef's program. So if you haven't taken the practitioner version, there's 13.75 free CEUs there. So, but again, that's only if you're interested in kind of culinary nutrition and optimizing, using that in your practice to optimize growth. So professional development, you can look in your SWOT analysis, figure out, what it is you want to do, where it is you need to improve, and then select your professional development opportunities. Okay, so Marissa is saying, this is so helpful. Okay. Oh, Marissa, we're recording. So Marissa's saying she has to sign off now for a client, but that's okay, Marissa. This is going to be recorded. All right. So number 2, professional development opportunities. They can be virtual or they can be in person. I love going to conferences once per year because number 1, it's a huge hit of CEUs. So, you can get a nice amount of CEUs. It's also great for collaboration. So professional development isn't always about getting the continuing education units. It's also about developing relationships and friendships with other like-minded professionals that you can potentially collaborate with. So that's number 2. Okay, number 3 is content creation. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about here, and I'm not going to cover it all today, but taking time during this slower time to create content can be a really great use of your time. So even if it's just branding handouts and putting your website on the handouts and downloading them and maintaining them either in your EHR or in your Dropbox, that is a great idea. And then that will prepare you for your busier times when all you want to do is just get that handout into the client's file or want to send it to them. So think ahead to what is the kind of content. So let's assume now is your slow time, right? So now you're thinking about September through December. What is the kind of content that will add huge value to my practice? What is the kind of content that my existing clients and future clients are going to be looking for? They're going to be looking for support around the holidays for sure. You don't want to be creating that content in October because October is going to be busy. Back to school season and kind of sliding into the holidays, it is a busy time for nutrition professionals. So think about, maybe back to school materials, like how to pack a healthy lunch, doing some recipe packs, maybe building a small digital course experience, hosting an open house, creating an open house with all the content related to that could be really fun. Sandy is saying, let me just pull up Sandy's comment here. She's saying she has a ton of content ideas, but getting to create them like blogs and emails is an issue. Probably because of time, right? So we don't have time to, you don't have time to edit and post the content like every day. That's not how it should happen. You should kind of batch create your content during slower times and either schedule it out or just have it in a bank so that you can draw on it. So Sandy, let's just use blogs for an example. Let's say you want to take advantage of this time to edit and create the blogs for the rest of the year. You can easily do that, right? You have the base blogs that we give you inside of Living Plate RX membership. All of our members have access to done-for-them blog posts with scientific references. You need to edit them significantly to make them relevant to your brand, your practice, your voice. So take your time to do that with each of these blog posts, and then you can even take the next step, which is take those blog posts, upload them to WordPress or your site, and schedule them for September, October, November, December, right? And then it's done. That's even better because then it's plug and play, right? Then you don't even have to worry about these blog posts going out to your clients. They're already built. You plugged in recipes, you put in images, you put in your links, and you are good to go, right? So just start there, Sandy. I would say if you're just overwhelmed with all these content ideas, just start in one place. Start with the blog posts. That's a great place to start. Let's see. We have Carmen is saying, prepare now for the upcoming holiday season is a good reminder. Yes, because it hits us really fast. And you're like, I don't know, like every January, why are we surprised that everybody is, pursuing the new you kind of rhetoric? Like, oh, I'm going to make, 180-degree change in my lifestyle and I'm going to improve my diet. Like, we all know that's coming. It's super, super predictable. So spend the time now to get ready for that. Oh, hey, Liz, thank you for joining me today. All right, so in content creation, if you're a Living Plate RX Prime member, there is tons of content that you have access to. Just ask yourself the question with a vision for the next 4 months, just like this last quarter. Think about what will support your clients the best. There might be a lot of things that you want to do. Maybe you want to launch a digital course, but maybe now is not the right time. Maybe now just scheduling out your blog posts to get more traffic to your website, if that's one of your KPIs. It all goes back to that, right? Which is why that was strategy number 1. Okay, so perfect. All right, so content creation, I can support you a lot there. No worries. Next is building community, taking time. This is actually what I'm doing right now for social media. So really focusing more on social media, not necessarily followers, but when I took a look at some of my metrics from my social media accounts, which I did a couple of weeks ago, it does generate business for me, but it's not related to the followers necessarily. It's about the types of posts that get the most engagement, that drive to DMs, because I get a lot of people sending me private messages about, what is membership all about? This content looks amazing. So now that informed what kind of posts I need to put up, and I'm taking action on that, right? So building my community it's very intentional. And I encourage you to think about it that way. It's not just like, oh, I want to get 1,000 more followers. Well, okay, but how does that relate to your business, right? So for me, it is about deliberately and intentionally selecting posts that I know drive engagement, and also including CTAs for encouraging direct messaging to me, because I know that in fact does drive business. So that's great. So building your community could also be just becoming a little bit more engaged in your Facebook group. So if you have a private Facebook group for your practice or for a program, think about strategies that you can employ to encourage engagement. Or it might just be posting more frequently, but there are also kind of key strategies that you can use for encouraging engagement on a Facebook page. All right, we have a couple of comments here. Let me just come over to comments and see if I have any questions. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. So we're on number 4 now, which is about building your community, right? And a community could be your Facebook group, it could be social media, but it's not specific to that. It could be your email list, right? So maybe I need to, send out more frequent emails. Maybe I'm going to do a Test Kitchen Tuesday email, or a Friday email for my community. That's just continuing to engage and nurture, and also build your community. A couple of other key things that you can do. You can refresh your website, because everybody goes to your website. That's a first point of contact almost always, or your Health Pros listing for a future patient or client to kind of reach out to you. So maybe it's time to refresh your website. Again, visit social media activity. I'm looking at a list I wrote here for myself. Personalized check-ins. Don't underestimate the value of a personal email. So you can send out, an email through your email management system, your client management system, but also just a personal email to specific clients. Maybe pick 5 clients who maybe visited you 2 months ago but never came back. Send them an email, send them a text if you have permission through your EHR, or even call them. That's a really high touch, high value way to encourage community and build relationships. Offer a special offer. So think about, it's a quiet time, people are getting ready for back to school, and if you know that you serve families, is there a special offer or kind of an exclusive content bundle that you can offer them that will support them at this time? Now would be a good time to put that together. And then lastly, collecting testimonials. It could be, and requesting feedback from clients. Now's a really great time to do that. So you can put out a testimonial form, or you can just reach out to ask for feedback on your services. This can help you build a testimonial bank that you will use in the next 4 months to help your business grow, right? So just a couple of ideas there for building community. And then the last strategy, oh, hi, Lauren, welcome. The last strategy we're going to talk about is not the least important. It's last because it helps you fulfill strategies 1 through 4, right? Self-care, taking care of yourself, taking some time to just, unplug, disconnect, rejuvenate. We are in the business of serving people, helping people with very personal concerns, and it can be draining. And if you don't take time to refuel, then it could lead to burnout. So that could be one of the consequences of not, conducting or paying attention to self-care. I would also say part of self-care is if you've gotten away from it, or you just need a reminder of getting to practicing what you're preaching. If you are, for example, a perfect example, if you are using the mealtime method, which is a method for meal planning and food selection that we use inside of Living Plate RX, follow it yourself for a week, right? That is a great way to kind of practice what you preach. It will also help you feel better about showing up for your clients if you've actually experienced what it is that you are using in your practice. Maybe part of strategy number 5 is simply making some recipes from the meal plans. Then you can share it with your clients, or in the next session say, I made this really great salad or soup or dressing, whatever it is, and you can share just on a more personal level. Trust me, your clients will know when you are feeling burned out and when you are energized, right? If you are showing up more energized, they are going to feel that. We have a comment here from Marissa. Your attract, serve, and retain funnel is on my whiteboard and guides my choices daily. It's been so helpful to keep me focused on what my priorities need to be. Yes, but thank you, Marissa, for saying that. Yes, if all of this does not lead to attracting, serving, and retaining your clients, you don't have a business. Truly, everything that we're talking about, like even the self-care, your self-care will help you attract, serve, and retain your clients better. So yes, Marissa, I'm so glad it's on your whiteboard, because that should be your guiding light. If the activity you are engaging in is not helping you attract, serve, and retain your clients, then it's not serving your business. And, obviously sometimes you don't always have to be thinking about your business, but trust me, every decision that you're making about yourself and your personal well-being, especially with strategy number 5, it will help you show up better. So you'll be able to better attract, serve, and retain your clients. Thank you for saying that, Marissa. I'm glad that has been helpful to you. Okay, Carmen is saying, can health coaches use the mealtime method or only RDs? Oh, of course, health coach, yeah. So this is a great question, Carmen, as we kind of wrap up our strategies for utilizing downtime, kind of doing some business reflection on, what is your scope of practice? And we get this question a lot because we do have wellness professionals and health educators also using our meal planning platform, as well as all of our resources. And it is not about the content. I mean, sometimes it's about the content, but you have access to a wellness library. So our healthcare library, those practitioners have access to prescriptive content. So when I say prescriptive content, it's condition specific. So chronic kidney disease or chronic kidney disease or type 2 diabetes, like it's very condition specific, it's very clinical. The wellness content is more educational, right? It can be used in a clinical setting, but it's very easy for you to use. And it's very flexible for you to use, rather, I should say. And then, so Carmen, when it's related to the mealtime method, it really is about food selection. So eating healthy foods is not prescriptive. It's something we want everybody to do. So it is the context within which you are presenting the mealtime method. So Carmen, if you are a health coach, I would not be using the mealtime method to address type 2 diabetes. If you follow this mealtime method, it will help you control your blood sugars. That is not a conversation that a health coach necessarily should be having. That is a conversation for somebody who has licensure, right? And it depends on your state, but overall, that's pretty much the deal. If you are a health coach, though, you are welcome to use the mealtime method to create healthier meals, get back in the kitchen, cook healthy for your family, build healthy school lunches. Those are all really great public service activities that health coaches can support their clients with. Does that make sense, Carmen? Was that helpful? Let me know if that was helpful to you. We have another question from Jenny. What funnel do you use? Oh, so Jenny, Marissa is referring to the sales funnel, the sales and marketing funnel that I present in the Content Cure. So the Content Cure is a webinar that I conducted about 3 months ago, and it's in your library. So find the Content Cure, Jenny, and you'll find the sales and marketing funnel in there. The process that I take you through aligns health behavior change theory with the sales funnel. And it's all about attracting, serving, and retaining clients in an evidence-based way from both the nutrition science and also the marketing science. Okay, so yeah, so Jenny, it's in the Content Cure. Okay, any questions on the 5 strategies? Sounds like that was really helpful. This has been an amazing conversation. We are now going to be moving on to our question and answer section. So frequently asked questions that have been coming in over the past week. And then also I wanted to share this with you. I'm going to share my screen. I am conducting a special event next week. It's called Building Evidence-Based Courses. I'm going to share my screen with you right now so that you can see this. Let me share this. Okay, hold on. Perfect. All right, I am going to post, I've already posted this in our Facebook group. I've already sent an email. I'm going to send another email probably today and tomorrow, the end of this week. We want as many people registered for this event as possible because it is going to be super, super high value. It is a free event. It's called Unlock the Potential of Digital Courses for Your Nutrition Practice, and it's a practical workshop for dietitians, but health coaches, health and wellness professionals are all welcome. We are going to be providing you with actionable steps that you can take to first evaluate whether or not a digital course is, not evaluate if it's appropriate. They're always appropriate. It's really just more about how you're using it. And let me just come to hello for a second because I want to talk about this. This is important. The idea of this workshop came from just tons of messaging that I'm seeing on social media and the stress that it's creating in my community. So everybody feels like they have to create a digital course because we're made to believe like that is the only path to setting yourself free from one-to-one if that's what you're looking, and that it's also the only one of the major paths to passive income. The answer is maybe, and it definitely can be. Digital courses can lead to passive income and they can help set you free from kind of that one-to-one counseling, but it's how you're offering the course, and it's not always going to drive passive income, but can it be useful? 100%. Digital courses can be used in so many different ways, and that's what we're going to explore. So day 1, just come back to, I'm going to share my screen again. Day 1 of this event, we are going to explore the evidence-based nutrition course framework. So if you are a member of Living Plate RX, or if you are not, it doesn't matter. You are going to get huge value out of day 1 because you're going to understand how an evidence-based nutrition course looks different from other digital courses, right? So if you took Amy Porterfield's, Digital Course Academy, great, you know how to build a digital course. But building an evidence-based nutrition course is completely different. So we're going to take you kind of through the nutrition and the behavioral science behind that. We're going to share with you how to construct a digital content strategy that can drive positive health outcomes for your patients and help you scale your brand. And we're also going to build in culinary content to support you with helping your clients gain kitchen confidence. Day number 2, I'm doing in concert with my partner, Stephanie Hoffenke from String Marketing. And again, we're going to be giving you tools and actions that you can take to elevate your offering, to create irresistible calls to action, creating a landing page, and determining kind of the perfect client attention strategy, which is really simple funnel mapping. Again, attract, serve, and retain your clients. But there are just so many ways that you can use digital courses. So if you're thinking about building a digital course and you're doing it just because you now have access to the content and you feel like you need to, that's great. But I encourage you to join this 2-day workshop because it's going to shed some light on all of the different ways that you can use this course. And yes, ultimately have it drive passive income and really enhance your practice. So this will be up on, again, look for your emails, look in your email inbox. The registration is going to be there. I'm going to post it on the Facebook group again, and you'll be able to sign up for that. It is a free workshop. There are no CEUs for our dietitian friends out there. There are no CEUs for this particular course because of the nature of the content of this workshop. Because of the nature of the content, I really have to dive into Living Plate RX and talk about the tools in order to make it as productive as possible for you. But if you register for this free workshop, we will send you an opportunity for 3 free CEUs in the next few months that will be pre-approved by the CDR. Okay, so Marissa is saying, if we register, let me just come to comments and we'll post it so that everybody can see. If we register for it, will there be a recording? My kids are off and it's unclear if she can make it. Yes, there will be a recording. So if you register, you'll get access to the recordings for both day 1 and day 2. Also, if you are not a Living Plate RX Prime member, we're going to be using a lot of Living Plate RX like materials inside of this workshop. There's a content bundle that you can purchase for $37, super high value. It's like $1,200 worth of content. You can purchase that. So if you're watching now and you're thinking, maybe I want to become a member, or I just want to learn how to build an evidence-based digital course, register for this event, and you'll have the opportunity to purchase a content bundle, which again will get you started anyway. And then if you think it's useful, you can join membership later. Okay, let's come back to our banners and continue the conversation. Got a question about considerations for offering a membership. This is not the first time that I've received this question from a member of our community who is looking to create a membership. I'm actually going to be creating a piece of content, kind of like those ultimate guides that I just showed you for KPIs and SWOT analysis. So in our next month's content drop, September or October, you'll have access to the guide about considerations for offering a membership. I will say that I already, Essential Content for Private Practice is an ebook you already have access to in Business Tools. I do cover kind of creating a concierge program, and that's what I wanted to talk about here today, which is, membership programs I kind of associate with kind of business to business programs like Living Plate RX, right? You're part of this membership, and as a result, you get recurring value for your recurring membership. And it allows me to kind of scale my mission, which is great. For private practice health and wellness professionals, think about it as a concierge program. And I ask you to do that because concierge programs have been around forever. Well, not forever, but I think it really become popular in the past 20 years, especially in the functional medicine, like physician space. There are a couple of things that you need to consider that I can think of initially, right? So think of it as a physician who is transitioning from private practice to becoming a concierge doctor, right? It's the same thing if you want to offer a membership or become a concierge nutritionist or dietitian. You need to hit kind of critical mass, right? You can't offer membership if you don't have potential members or potential people to sign up for your concierge services. Typically, concierge doctors have maxed out their practice. They have as many patients as they can handle, and they want to reduce their workload, but they don't necessarily want a reduction in revenue. That is the perfect equation for creating a membership or a concierge program. If you have many, many, many clients and the revenue is great, but the one-to-one it's kind of pointing in the direction of burnout, then you can offer a concierge program, which will reduce the number of clients that you're going to be able to see because it's going to be more expensive, but your revenue will be the same. Is that making sense? So that was something I thought I just wanted to share with you today. I'm not going to be answering all of the considerations for membership because I need to explore that a little bit more for the content that we'll create with you, for you, but we'll come back and we'll spend a whole Q&A session talking specifically about membership. What I want you to think about here, the big takeaway is think about it as a concierge program, right, versus a membership. Doctors have been doing it for years. There's absolutely no reason why we can't do it too. All right, private practice, practice better integration for the meal plans. So as many of you know, especially if you have been inside of our private Facebook group, we had planned on building an integration for our meal planner inside of Practice Better, but that is no longer going to be happening. So we have created a way very similar to the way that we offer our courses to you inside of Practice Better, a way for you to offer meal plans inside of Practice Better and just with a better workflow. Like you could, as a Living Plate RX member, you can issue meal plans to anybody you want and as many people as you want, but you do have to do it from within your Living Plate RX dashboard. So we have created, it's basically an offer that you can install into Practice Better so that it makes it easier for you to recommend your Living Plate RX meal plans. So if you are a Living Plate RX member who uses Practice Better, you can DM me. You can just note here and we'll follow up with you. We are going to be making this code available to whoever wants it. So I'll probably end up sending out an email about it as well. Stephanie from Stream Marketing manages issuance of Practice Better codes to our members. So she already knows a lot of you who use Practice Better. So we'll send out an email with the code to that offer. But I think this offer for the meal plans inside Practice Better will be really, really helpful for you. You'll be able to direct your clients to it inside of Practice Better for logging in to their meal plan, for activating their meal plan, for collecting payments for your meal plan. All of that can happen really, really easily now inside of Practice Better. Okay, weekly client email settings. This is a new functionality. So I'm going to share my screen here and I'm going to take you inside of the meal planner. So let me go back to Living Plate RX Prime. So I've just clicked Living Plate RX Prime here, and that opened up my subscription settings here. Right here, you can see other settings, weekly emails. It is toggled on. The weekly emails are emails that go out every Thursday at like midnight Eastern time, and they simply remind every one of your clients who has a meal planner, just reminds them to log in. It's called What's Cooking on Your Meal Planner this week. We have been, hold on one second. So I'm going to pop up in here for a second. We have been offering those weekly emails just as a way to remind clients to sign into their meal planner. Now, the email is branded for you, so it looks like it's coming from you. And it's a great reminder for people to log into their meal plans, but a lot of you didn't want that email going out. So now you have the ability to suspend it. And you do that. Oh, wait, I was sharing the wrong screen. Here we go. Sorry, Jenny. I'm sorry, Jenny. Here we go. It's all fixed. It's here. Other settings, weekly emails. Can you see that now, Jenny? Yes, there we go. So you go into your Living Plate RX Prime tab where you find your signature meal plans, your library link, and then also your subscription settings. And right here, you're going to see weekly emails. You can toggle it off and you can toggle it on. So you can disable it or enable it. The enabled setting is the default. So if you don't want your clients getting the weekly emails, you can now turn them off. I'm going to leave this screen up because we have some other things. Pricing meal plans for different groups. So we got the question this week about, can I make this meal plan a different price from this meal plan, or can I offer a group of people a different price than another group? The answer is yes, but you just can't do it like global, like you can't do it at the meal planner level. You have to do it in subscription settings. So I'm going to open up my subscription settings now. Now I have here that I only offer custom meal plans at $149 per month. That's just a random number that I plugged in here. That's what I offer. That is a global setting. All of my meal plan landing pages will note that my meal plans are $149 per month. The way that I can make different offers to different people or make different offers on different meal plans or different offers for different groups is by creating a promotional code. When you create a promotional code, you can issue free days, a percentage off if you want maybe, or a fixed amount off. And so maybe I wanted to issue a free month, so I would do like 30 days or 31 days, whatever you'd like. And then I create a code that aligns, let's just say Detox 23. Maybe I'm running a detox program, or 24. Maybe I'll do that in January. Good time to do an evidence-based detox course. So Detox 24. I'm going to make it customizable, and then I can pick the plan that I want it to apply to. So you can make it applicable for all plans if you wanted to offer a discount on all plans to your community, or you can make it a specific plan. And then you create the promotional code. You then tell your clients, use this code to get free 30 days. And they would input that code. Let me come to the meal planner. click this open. And when you'll see that it comes up as $149 per month on my landing page, right here. It says $149 per month. And when they hit subscribe now, they will enter their promo code here. So it would be Detox24, right? And once they apply it, this is going to disappear. The payment information will disappear and they'll get it for free. So that answers the question of pricing meal plans kind of differently for different groups and different meal plans. Is that clear? Any questions on that? Okay, we have a question here. A client asked me how many recipes there are in the meal planner. I was on thousands, more than they'll ever need. Now, it's not a straightforward question, Marissa, because a recipe could be cucumbers. A recipe could be jarred tomato sauce, right? Like every recipe tile is considered a recipe that you can click and drag. So you can build meals with individual foods like chicken, broccoli, brown rice. Those are 3 recipes, but it's not really like a recipe. You would build that into dinner. So it's a harder question to answer. Like there are I think now over 4,000, but there's enough. Like I don't know how many recipes people need. There's enough. And if there's something that you're not finding, then let us know and we'll add it. We add new food items and recipes to the meal planner monthly. So just let us know if there's something that you or your clients are not finding and we'll make sure that we can add it to the meal planner. I would also add, Marissa, that it does depend on the meal planner that you're giving them access to. So the low FODMAP meal plan, because it is a restrictive meal plan and should only be followed for a month, maybe a little bit more, there aren't as many recipes there as there are kind of for the Flex meal plan, for example, which has access to all recipes. So there are thousands and thousands. At last count, again, I think we were over 4,000, close to 5,000, but it could be green beans, brown rice, chicken. So they're not all like recipes. Does that make sense, Marissa? Hope that answers your question. Okay, we have another question. I need help to understand better the library and how to use it. Do you have a calendar with you where I can sign up? Yes, so June is asking a question about support. Yes, we have the coaching calls and we also have discovery calls are run by Karen Reiser. So June, if you could send me a DM and just saying I'd love to connect with somebody about how I can optimize use of my membership, both the library and the meal plans, I will send you a link to sign up for one of Karen's coaching calls. I did the most recent email that I sent out on Friday, and I'll include it again this Friday, as I do every Friday, has that schedule of coaching calls. We hold 2 coaching calls per month, and then I do the Q&A twice per month, which can be helpful to you. But if you are new and you're really looking to get started very quickly, joining Karen for a call could be really important. Okay, that would be excellent. Good. All right, so just go ahead and send me a DM. I'll send you that link. Okay, next up is the PDF generator content. So we had, as with everything that we do now, this functionality was driven by practitioner requests. So we had gotten enough requests about the PDF generator. So I'm going to go back to my living plate, go back to my dashboard here. Okay, I'm going to cancel this out. Let's go back to the dashboard. Make sure we're on the right page. Yes, you can see this. All right, so the PDF generator. We created the PDF generator last year to support us with becoming more competitive with PDF generated meal plan companies, right? So there are companies that allow practitioners to just generate PDF ebooks, which can be useful, not really shouldn't be used in practice regularly, because a PDF meal plan will only get your clients so far, but they're great marketing tools and they can be supportive for clients who don't want the digital experience. So you can create a PDF and an ebook of any meal plan that you create, and you do that in Configure. So look, I'm going to go to the Detox static plan that I created. You go into Configure, and all the way down at the bottom, you will see the PDF settings. So inside of this planner, if I opened up the planner, I can generate a PDF of the planner. I can customize my cover photo, which is awesome. That's something that's relatively new. But what I'm showing you today is the intro page. So I'm going to type something interesting, right? So this is the second page of your ebook that it's basically a hello message from you, but it could also provide some guidance on how to use the PDF meal planner. So it's a great, great opportunity to have a conversation with your clients who are receiving this ebook. The type was quite small. So now we've installed this font size that you can select to increase it or decrease it. So when you generate the PDF, now you can take a look at your font and see if it's large enough for you and in the style that you like. You can also here add, let me just come up here. You can also add pictures. You can add a picture, you can add a link to a video. There's a lot of things that you can do, bullets, you can do lists. Like this is how you can use the meal planner, step 1, 2, 3, something like that. But you have different functionalities here as well. So there's just, if you go to the empty space, there's a plus sign here, quick insert a photo of yourself is always really nice. Okay, so now you have control of the sizing of the font. Okay, all right, so now we're going to move on to something completely different. I always love to share things with you that I discovered just kind of as part of my regular business activities that I find pretty cool. Fillable PDFs can be really great pieces of content for your practice, and it's a really great way to utilize Living Plate RX content. I'm going to give you an example of kind of what that looks like, but we've all experienced a fillable PDF. Like when I'm just reminded of the forms I got from my daughter's new school, right? So when the forms came in and it said, please complete these, these documents, I'm like, oh, please let them be fillable so that I don't have to download them and upload them and, or transition them to Word docs, right? Like, and they were fillable, which was great. So if you want to create a PDF document that your clients can fill in the blanks for, I have a free resource for you. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, can you guys see this? Let's see here, add to the stream. Perfect. Hey, Lindsay, thank you for joining us. All right, I'm going to hide myself because I want this as big as possible. Okay, this is a free tool that you can use to make any PDF that you download from Canva. So any piece of content that you have access to in your Living Plate RX library that is editable in Canva, and you want your clients to take action on it, you can actually create text fields for them. So that when you send it to them through your EHR, if you send it in an email, if you make it like an opt-in, like this is coming from the food guide, which is a bigger ebook. I'll show you in a second. But the last page is fillable now. So that's super cool. They don't have to like print it and handwrite their vegetables, their starches, their fruits, and their proteins, right? So let me just scroll up here so that you know where this is coming from. All right, this is the ultimate guide to the mealtime method. This is a method of meal planning that we give you access to. You can call it the mealtime method. You can call it something else. I encourage you to kind of rename the method, the blueprint, the framework for your practice. But if you license Living Plate RX content, you have access to the mealtime method. This is a very comprehensive guide for using this in practice. This is used for you can modify it and use it for clients. So this is how they're going to be using the mealtime method when they work with you. So I give you examples of like weeks 1 and recipes from the meal plan, week 2, right? So all the way down at the bottom here now, we have a blank one, which is a worksheet, right? This is something that your clients can fill out themselves. You're going to go to DocHub. It's DocHub.com. DocHub.com. You can sign up with your Gmail and it's free, and you can easily create these fillable fields. All here, I'll delete this one and I'll show you how I did it. You simply come up here to the upper left-hand corner where it says, where it has a document, the manage fields, and then you're just going to pick the type of field. You could do a text field, you could do a paragraph field, which is what I have here. You could also do check boxes. So if you are sending like a to-do list or a how-to list to your clients as an opt-in, you can insert a checkbox field. You can do drop-downs. There's like a lot of really cool things that you can do here. But I'm going to show you how to use paragraph field. I'm going to click on it, and I'm just going to go over to where I want my paragraph field to be, and I'm going to expand this. This is so easy and so great. Let's see here. Is it going to work? There we go. And now I have, this is a field that will be fillable once I download it. So now all I have to do is download and export it. So I can export it to Google Drive. I actually exported it, I renamed it, and then I uploaded it to Google Drive. So if you are, like, if you listen to the content, not the content cure, if you listen to the Nutrition Content Creator Podcast, my podcast, every week I offer a content cure. Sometimes the content cure is an activity, something that you can engage in. I actually upload the fillable PDF to the drive so that you can download a fillable version. All right, so type cool if you think that's cool. If you've already used one before, you're like, well, that's not a big deal, Jeannie. But for those of you who haven't used it, it's pretty cool. And it's very, very, very easy to use. It's one of the easiest PDF fillable tools that I've seen on the market. So hopefully you find that will be helpful to you and to help you utilize content in a unique way. Marissa's saying very cool. Good. Glad you found that helpful, Marissa. Okay, and then I think that's it. Wow, I'm scrolling down. I think that's all the questions that we've had, plus kind of like that little extra. If you guys don't have any other questions, we are done for today. As always, if you are listening to this as a recording, please just tag me in comments and I will be able to answer your questions. And don't forget to keep your eyes open for Building the Evidence-Based Courses event that is coming up. It is Monday and Tuesday next week. Let me just confirm the time for you. It is 1 to 2:30 on the 21st and the 22nd. So if you are a Living Plate RX Prime member, or if you are thinking about becoming one, or you're not, you're new to the community, join. I promise everybody will get tons of value out of this workshop. All right, Carrie, thank you for joining. So everybody have a beautiful week. It's the end of summer. Make sure that you pay attention to strategy number 5, which is self-care, and chisel out just a little bit of time to tackle strategies 1 through 4. Promise you can make significant progress in the next 2 weeks before kind of back to school season kind of hits us all and we become really, really busy. All right, everybody, thank you again so much for joining me, and I will see you in 2 weeks for another Q&A call. Next week, Karen has her coaching call, so you'll see her for that. Take care.